is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
We're starting with breaking news tonight. 2 people are in custody after a short police pursuit in Clay County, Minnesota. Authorities say they tried to stop the car near Barnesville around 8:30 tonight, but the male driver took off and police had to use stop sticks to end the chase that lasted about 45 minutes. Now, officials have not released any names, but say the man driving and his female passenger both had warrants out for their arrest, and no one was hurt during the chase. You can stay with Valley News Live for further updates on this breaking story. Severe weather pounded some of our viewing area with upwards of 6 inches of rain on Tuesday, while others saw damaging winds. Now, that includes Lake Park, Minnesota, where a storage unit building was nearly leveled. Valley News Team's Molly Casey checked out the damage and talked with those who lost personal items in the units.
You don't know what's in these storage units.
Tuesday night storms brought straight-line winds through Lake Park.
It blew the doors on the west side in, and then the building just went poof. Just lifted the roof right up.
The roof of the Becker storage building was blown over a quarter of a mile away, leaving items in the units exposed to the rain.
Oh, we'd pick up boxes and the bottoms would either fall out or we'd tip them over and the water'd run out. 24 units were destroyed, and while some found their items like this jet ski relatively untouched, others lost items that aren't so easily replaced.
We had a lot of nice pictures in there that some got.
Becky Cusey and her husband had items from their previous home stored in a unit while their new home is being built, but now have to move it into their new garage.
This was just so handy to have, and we appreciated it.
The family that owns Becker Storage moved items to other units until they can rebuild, but note the damage extends beyond the building.
There's a lot of families and parties involved in this one.
From Lake Park, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
The building's roof knocked out 3 power lines, and that caused residents in the area to lose power from midnight last night until 9 a.m. this morning when power lines were finally repaired. Coming up after weather, a 19-year-old is now in stable condition after a car drug him and his bike for a block last night in South Fargo. Plus, how a local Walmart employee helped end a criminal spending spree without even knowing it. More details in just a few moments. And as mentioned, it was a much different story 24 hours ago until now. Robert, what does the rest of our night look like?
Yeah, we're going to remain quiet as we head through the overnight hours tonight with clear skies and a bit of a breeze out there and some cooling temperatures. Live look outside on the Coronado.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam Network. Part I-94 looking good. University looking good. Some nice travel conditions out there. As we wrap up the week, though, we're going to see things become a bit more unsettled. 64 right now, winds out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Temperature-wise, a mix of some 50s and 60s. The warm spot right here at Fargo at 64, but 54 down in Gwinner, 53 over in Jamestown, 52 in Langdon, as well as in Wadena. Still a bit of a breeze out there. We're going to see those winds tonight, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but tomorrow they'll pick up out of the south and southeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Some gusts well over 30 miles per hour. Cloud cover, not a whole lot out there, and with hardly a cloud out there, no precipitation to worry about. A lot of green on the radar, just a little bit of interference with the local radar domes. Northern Plains quiet. As you zoom on out to the national map, some rain and some snow off towards the west. Some severe weather down in the southern plains at parts of Oklahoma and in North Texas. And the system that brought us the severe weather yesterday, much weaker, making its way through the western Great Lakes. Maria is also weaker after devastating Puerto Rico. Winds still at 110 miles per hour, trying to regain an eye. It's pretty ragged right now. Models continue to make it track towards the west-northwest and then eventually off towards the northwest and north in the next 4 or 5 days after that. And the big question mark, does it turn back in the United States, back out to sea? Well, the models are about half and half now on that solution. For us, though, we got some clear skies out there and a bit of a breeze. Overnight tonight, those winds will start to slowly increase. And again, tomorrow's going to be a windy time of it. A bit of cloud cover in our northwestern counties early in the day, and then we'll start to see more cloudiness develop in our southeastern counties as we head through the afternoon, evening hours, and could see an isolated shower or even a rumble or two of thunder. Friday, though, that's a better chance for some strong and damaging winds, some large hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado, particularly in the slight risk area in the yellow. Here in Fargo tomorrow, though, a quiet day, albeit a bit on the windy side. Mid-50s in the morning. By lunchtime, warming up into the low 70s. And we're going to be close to 80 degrees by the end of the day, getting into the upper 70s with a few more clouds. Picture of the day, some fall colors in Wahpeton. Thanks to Mandy for sending this in. Going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. A nice day, albeit windy tomorrow. And then that chance for some severe storms on Friday. Some models have it much warmer on Friday. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Warmer it is, the more energy we have for storms, but turning much cooler over the weekend with a good chance of rain. And unfortunately, tailgating looks a bit soggy.
That's okay. Just cover up those buns and hot dogs.
Well, we get through it. I mean, you got to cover it up in the snow too, so rain is...
It's nothing.
Exactly.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robert.
You got it.
Well, we're finding out more today about a scary crash that happened in South Fargo last night. Fargo police say 19-year-old Randy West of Texas is in stable condition after being hit by a car and dragged him for about a block. The crash happened at the intersection of 45th Street and 17th Avenue South. The driver, 71-year-old Theodore Kleiman of Fargo, told officers he was unaware that he had hit a person, but stopped because it sounded like something was wrong with his car. Police are not saying if he could be facing any charges at this time. The crash remains under investigation. A quick-thinking Walmart cashier refused to sell 2 men electronics after they tried to pay with fake $100 bills. But little did that employee know it put an end to what police are calling an interstate criminal spending spree. David Seja was pulled over in Moorhead with a passenger after the Walmart employee called police. Police say they found all kinds of fake bills, brand new electronics in a GameStop bag, and other stuff worth several $1,000s. The 2 men made at least 14 stops over the past several days across multiple states, according to investigators. The men could be charged with a felony for each incident. We're also learning about another counterfeit case right here in Fargo. Federal prosecutors are accusing a man of cashing thousands of dollars in counterfeit checks at several North Dakota banks. KFGO radio reports that Mikey Ramon George is charged with 9 counts of bank fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud. The value of the checks are estimated about $24,000. George was arrested last week in Georgia. He has yet to appear in federal court. There were some tense moments this week when a piece of legislation could have put the Grand Forks Air Force Base at risk of being closed. Legislation introduced by John McCain proposing Air Force bases be realigned and possibly closed died earlier on Monday this week. A relief to the nearly 4,000 people that do work on the Grand Forks Air Force Base. Now, this base is the second largest employer in Grand Forks County and drives around $250 million into local economy.
The direction of the base is changing, obviously, and just because we don't hear the sonic boom and we don't see the jets flying, there's still stuff going on out there.
The base is banking on the future of drones in a strategic location to be continued for an asset for the military. The North Dakota Public Service Commission unanimously approved a settlement with the Dakota Access LLC, and it's in regards to cultural artifacts and the removal of trees during construction of the pipeline. The deal calls for Energy Transfer Partners to help develop and promote an industry manual for handling artifact discoveries and also to plant more trees along the pipeline route. The state isn't requiring a $15,000 fine or payment as it had proposed earlier. New for you now at 9. After some housing issues were brought to light earlier this year, the operator of a group of local sober homes says he will not be shutting down their houses. F5 Project founder Adam Martin says 6 of his sober houses were inspected by the city this afternoon. That's to make sure his homes are up to code all across the board. But this follows a Fargo City Commission meeting where Commissioner Dave Pepcorn said the F5 Project must stop what they're doing in the city because they were not following group home code. Martin says there are a few repairs that still need to be done, and he's still waiting for an official letter from the city. A meeting will come in October to revisit the code issue. North Dakota has a new Miss North Dakota, with Bismarck native Cara Munn traveling the country as the new Miss America. Someone has to step up and take her place. Lizzie Jensen is her name. Jensen previously held the title of Miss West Fargo. Her platform is #IamMore, and it focuses on anti-bullying and self-worth. Munn is expected to return to Williston in November for a homecoming celebration. There will also be an official coronation ceremony for Jensen at that time. But get this, you can get a chance to hear from the newly crowned Miss America right here on Valley News Live. Cara Munn will be appearing on North Dakota Today this Friday. You can watch that show starting at 9 a.m. Republicans are making a last-ditch effort to repeal and replace Obamacare before an upcoming deadline makes it harder to push through. We have the latest details on the proposal still ahead tonight.